Hello, all greetings. This is Gilles Morcillon. I wanted to come to you today to wish you a good day and to pull out a few cards to address this new moon in Leo on Sunday, the 23rd, which will be followed by it's a very important moon. It will be followed by a day out of time on the 25th. If you can remember that this is on the 25th is a very special day. It is a day outside of time that will bring the new year, new galactic year, after on the 26th, where Sirius will rise with the sun, and then all those energies will be magnified, and around a week later or 2 weeks later, around the August 8th portal, the Lion's Gate. So I'm going to pull out a few cards and see what what higher self spirits wish to help us understand. So I'm going to pull out 10 cards. So the situation is nothing less than the source. It is the source, the creator. It's becoming one. For in oneness there is no more opposition, there is no more contradiction. Everything flows, everything is... Duality still exists below, but if we can raise above in unity, there is no more obstacle to anything. And we integrate those energy of unity, the more we are able to create with our mind all kinds of situations, or our thoughts, our emotions are becoming tools of creation rather than responding to external stimuli. And so there is a whole change of paradigm. For this is the source energy that is activated, so it means more power, more consciousness that will be given. What surrounds the situation is morality. It's the idea of morality. Morality is the idea of good and bad, and in essence those things are illusions. This is really what creates all the negative emotion, is our judgment in relationship to what is good or bad. For there is no good or bad, there is just life, and whatever we do, life reflects it to us. It is our judgment upon those things that creating the weight on top of it. And so it is good not to be to discern, but not to judge, to be able to look at things from an objective point of view, and to be able to discern and understand that there is no need for judgment, and judgment, our sense of right and wrong, has to come from deep within, not in relationship to what other people are attributing to those values. And from there we'll find integration. We'll be able to integrate those values, those ideas, that all is one. And so if there is all is one, then there cannot be that is why in the legend of creation, both in the Bible and in the Torah, in the Garden of Eden, there was this fruits of good and evil, which is the illusion. As soon as man wanted, it was just, of course, symbolic. Of course, it's mythology. But God explains in this book that if we believe in good and evil, we will fall into it. We will not be able to enjoy paradise and all the goods of life. So in essence, is to return to that understanding that there is no good or evil. Those things are illusions. For all is good, all is education, all will reflect upon each soul, that whatever we do will be reflected upon us, so we'll learn from that. So in essence is to also but then again we know that there are things that are furthering our well-being and doing good to others, and there are other things that are not furthering our own well-being or are not doing good to others. So this is the discerning, to always be good to ourselves and be good to others. For the goodness is the final outcome of philosophy, just as truth is the final outcome of science, and beauty the final outcome of art. Maybe oversimplifying, but in essence that is what is most essential. And what we see before us is the sun. It is innocence. It is the power of connecting. It is the power of enjoying everything, of having it all. For once we move into that state of unity, there is nothing that we cannot have. There is nothing that we cannot experience. Of course, we are still limited within the constraint of the physical world, but there is a great deal that will be given, and we can see already before us both spiritual and material abundance and prosperity. And so it is all before us. We will all manifest that as we are ready to receive it. In the subconscious is compromise. So it is it means that it might pop up that the idea that well, we want that, but then if we cannot get that, we'll take that something else. And so so the compromise, it's okay sometimes to compromise, but we do not want to compromise with ourselves. We do not want to compromise our value, our principles. Otherwise, we will be decreasing in our sense of self. So we do want to be true to ourselves and not to push any conflict to the bitter end. Always stop at halfway. The I Ching told us to tell us to, in the conflict, you always the wisdom lies in stopping halfway, not going to the end. So if some people need to be right about everything, about something, if they need that for their ego, you let them believe whatever they believe. It is better to be silent and happy than to be in a hell conflict and that keeps on and on and on, and trying to prove something. If somebody is not ready to receive an information, there is no need to try to enforce it upon them or upon him or her. The situation that is present is abundance. It's wonderful. It is the great God of abundance. It is prosperity. It is both material and spiritual abundance. What's coming up in the near future is comparison. We'll be able to compare, to see the difference between the states. For we have been living in the states, but we haven't seen the other side of the coin. So as we move, or sometimes we are, and so we are able to see, to discern, to evaluate, and so that will help us to make the right and proper choice. And as we do, we will find harmony. For harmony should be the choice. We should ask for harmony, for peace, harmony. Peace and harmony are very much what we should be asking, in a sense, so that we can live within peace and harmony. This card represents us with our potential within the situation, and here we have beyond illusion. It is the card of judgment. It is the card of that is the soul. It is something that is beyond that realm of time and space. So there is a force that is behind everything, that I know this force is love, but then it does not appear to be so when you look at the duality of the world. But if you can still connect to that soul frequency, to that realm of light, the fifth dimension, then you will always be connected to the sphere of love, and slowly but surely you will integrate those frequencies, and you will be able to approach anything with more wisdom, more love, more joy, more detachment when needed, more humor when necessary. And all of that is potential. We are that which is the light within our true self. Is the nature of our true self is love and light. And never to forget that, no matter how much life can push us towards whatever, it's all part of the process of learning. But understand that love will always free us from karma, free us from problems. Love, not in every situation. Sometimes there are situations that needs a bit more than just an intention, but in essence, we do want to stay close to our heart, and to listen to the inner voice. It is very important to listen to that voice inside. And outside of us, we have the master. It is the master of knowledge, the master of wisdom, the master of understanding. We are being prepared to ascend, and so we will have to assume a lot more responsibility. And so we are being guided from the outside and the inside. We have all our guides. There are angels, archangels, ascended masters, galactics, all kinds of spirit beings also that are available to guide us. And life is everywhere. Life is all the time. There is not it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Life is present for us. There is always a higher consciousness that is available to us if we allow ourselves to be sensitive to whatever life is telling us, whether it is from inside or even from other people, for they don't always know of their own wisdom when it comes to teaching us whatever we need to learn. It doesn't mean we have to take everything at face value, but to understand that there is great every day there is chances to learn new things from anyone, from strangers, from television, from anything, and any information that comes to us may have some encoded higher function that we can draw on an information that will make us feel this connection and to know that we are indeed connected to this higher realm. Once you get this connection, it will continue. Once you get it, it cannot be, you cannot erase it. It's done. But until then, you got to sensitive. We got to be more and more sensitive to feel the more subtle energies of the life that is within and without us. What we have inside our emotion is the void, the nothingness. It's the ability to live without projection, to be in the void without having to fill it up, which is very difficult because we have a tendency when we find a void that we need to fill it up with something good or something agreeable. But in essence, to be in the void is we will have to. It is good to learn to just be there, to just be yourself, be you, be one, and so we're learning to move to learn from that, to learn through that, and so. It is the great teacher. The void is everything is the void is the form, and the form is the void. Everything is interconnected. Although the Greek philosopher like Heraclitus, I think, discovered the duality potential. Everything exists within its opposite, and then there was Democritus, who was the atomist, the first atomist, who was envisioning the void and the form, but the Buddha got a much better understanding, as far as I can tell, in relationship to that. I suppose about 6th century BC, all those people who came to discover all those things. And so the Buddha understood that forms come from void and returns to the void. So all the form is the void and the void is the form, and from there you are able to create a more malleable reality for ourselves. And the key and the outcome is projection. So that means we are projecting, we are envisioning, we are imagining, we are expecting certain things which will not necessarily be what is the truth, because we do not have all the elements to have a proper projection. So it is sometimes better not to project if possible. It's okay to do a little bit, but to allow life to show you what the future is. And then of course sometimes life shows you things. You say, well, how can I get there? I say, well, you gotta trust that eventually whatever future is being shown to you as an intuition through your third eye or through your dreams or whatever will find a way into your life. So the idea is to here it is a man and a woman that are they're kind of dreaming of each other, but they're not. They do not know each other. So they're projecting different ideas and thoughts. So, but in essence, we know what we need to know when it is the time, and everything happens. I trust that everything happens in divine timing. And the beyond that, I'm sorry, so the outcome of all that is playfulness, so we'll be able to enjoy it. So I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you very much. Namaste.